Chapter 5, the operation and process innovation. This means that innovation ideas are likely to be improvement in the process of manufacture and deliver for products or services. Next page, please. Operation management. There's just the three types of operation management. First, the customer, the buyer of your product. The second, information of the customer. You need to know what is the line on your customer in your areas. And the third is the business environment and the which organization operates. This means that you need to know what is the need of your stated country or province that hits a product from you. Next page, please. Operation inputs and outputs. This table shows into four parts. First part is the input. Input means that the major material of your product. The second process is the process of the included. This is included that you need the process of materials and outputs of your unit. Second is the by parts. This means that every process and products you produce, you have a waste. So dito pumapasok yon. And lastly is the output. Output is the final product of your process. For example, a car procedure. Car procedure inputs the materials, people, skills, and energy. The second one is having precision. You need to weld to build the car, a body of the car, and to color it for a paint. And the lastly process is assemble the parts. And the byproducts, this is have material waste because we need all this material waste, the scrap of the metals, and also we need a heat waste because of the using machineries. And the final output is the car and salary. Maybe magtataka tayo ba't pumasok yung salary. Kasi nga, kaya pumasok yung salary kasi nagbabayad tayo ng tao para gumawa ng ating product. That's it. The operation management role is have objectives. Objectives have two parts also. The first part is the operation strategy. The operation strategy also have branches. The improvement and the design. And the bottom of this is having planning and control. Maybe we're thinking that why this planning and control from the bottom of the improvement and design. It is because we don't need the planning and control if we don't have improvement and design. This is the reason why planning and control have to down to the bottom of these two. And the second part of objective is the relation to the competition. Maisip naman talaga natin na hindi naman talaga mabobo ang operation management role kung wala tayong competitor, kasi hindi matatawag na operation management kung wala tayong competitor.
Hi, my name is Nelson Dihasa, and I'm about to report the nature of design, innovation, and the context of operations. As we know, the main idea of innovation is improvement. And in this chapter, we are about to know innovation described as a leading edge. Leading edge means all about technological improvement. Innovation is something that is new, innovative to one company, a tried and tested procedure from one product to another. Design requirement and innovation. First in this spot, we must know that we need to meet the expectation of the customers, and we also need to meet all their needs. For the second spot, good design. Therefore, starts and end impression of the customer is based on your good design. From the third spot, gather information. We must gather information from the potential customer or customers to identify their needs and expectations. From the fourth and last spot of the number, we must work as a team, working with marketing, the product and service designer, design a specification for a product and service, a concept, a package, and a process. And for the example of innovations, we know all about McDonald's and the story behind McDonald's success. The success of fast food restaurant like McDonald's could be due to a number of factors, but among the most important will be the design of its operating system that ensure the consistency and efficiency of its products and service in all its promises. Design principle of innovation. We have 10 principles of innovation. Design principle of innovation. We have 10 principles of innovation. First, usefulness. You must innovate not only with the looks, but with profitability. Second, quality. Versatility, high mechanical efficiency, safety features, integrating. Third, ease of use. Fourth, simplicity. Fifth, clarity. Six, order. 7, naturalness. 8, aesthetics. 9, innovation. And 10, fruitfulness. The innovation and design in the manufacturing process. The first use of machine tools in the mass production was during the Napoleonic. It was started in 1800s. The British Navy in the Portsmouth had a need for 100,000 blocks. For example, the Victory alone required 100 blocks, and each of these was individually carved by the skilled craftsman.
Good day, I am Joanna Jane N. Hernandez, BSc 21, and I am going to discuss to you the operation and process of innovation. Craft-based product. The term craft denotes a skill usually employed in branches of decorative arts. The key feature of craft is that they involve a high degree of hands-on craftsmanship, or what do you call this, the handicraft, rather than just a skill with a machine. It is usually made in a small volume like glass, pottery, bags, and paper crafts. It is being copied and paraded. These may look similar but are usually made up from different materials using different techniques. For example, the haute couture. The term haute couture produced in Paris in mid-19th century. The Dapifer note that Worth would allow his clients to select colors, fabrics, and other details before ever beginning his design process. The Chambres Syndicales de la Haute Couture have the rules stated that only those companies mentioned on the list drawn up each year by are entitled to avail themselves of the label Haute Couture. These are the famous brands of the member of Chambres Syndicales de la Haute Couture: the Chanel, Givenchy, and Dior. Design simplification. It satisfies the needs and meet the expectation by making the products easy to produce. Simplify a design means to reduce a complexity. For example, the fax machine, a device that sends and receives printed pages or images over telephone lines by digitizing the material with an internal optical scanner and transmitting the information as electronic signals. Personally, I use this one when I work as an admin assistant. Part of my job are receiving calls, faxes, and data from clients. I often ask our client to use fax machine directly because it is way more easy to receive. Reverse engineering involves deconstructing individual components of larger product. Process and enable you to determine how a part was designed so that you can recreate it. Companies often use this approach when purchasing a replacement part from an original equipment manufacturer or OEM. For example, the computers. Through the circulation, there are first generations of computer who use only vacuum tube as the basic components for memory and circuitry for CPU. Due to the innovation of technology, some computers were improved during the second generation and were faster and reliable than the first one. It uses discrete transistors instead of vacuum tubes. And that would be all. Thank you for listening.
Good day, ma'am. Good day, classmates. I am Aljun Glodo, presenting the process design. The process design is based on the technology being used within the process. It means you can design a process depending the technology that you have. If you have metal technologies, it is designed as metal forming processes. If you have chemical technologies, it is designed as chemical processing industry. If you have plastic technologies, it is designed as plastic material processing. And last, if you have electronic technologies, it is designed as electronic assembly. That's the different kinds of process design. Next is, in order to illustrate a feature of innovation within process design, consider one of the important elements of operations, that of the design of the layout of the facility providing the goods or service. This is the one of the attribute to innovate within the process design, the quality of goods or service of the company, ang kalidad ng kanilang pagtatrabaho mula sa pinakamaliit na empleyado hanggang sa pinakamataas. Dito na pipicture yung innovation pag sa kalidad ng kanilang pagtatrabaho. Next is, this is figure 5.3, the design of processes. Makikita natin dyan yung element ng process design, which is network design is for planning of the implementation of a computer network infrastructure, layout and flow, for improving planning and control, operation management, and functional design. Job design, for methods and the relationship of jobs in order to satisfy. And last is process technology or PTech. It's about the various systems needed to ensure industrial plant operate smoothly to produce goods and service. Sabi dito, figure 5.3 models the relationship between the elements of process design, and this is as applicable to the service sector as it is to the manufacturing sector. Ang figure 5.3 is gamit na gamit ng service sector at ng manufacturing sector dahil applicable ang ganitong process design sa kanila. Nakakatulong ito sa pag-improve ng kanilang mga produkto. Innovation in action. Be creative about distribution. This is very important, especially in very crucial situation of the business. Yung pagkapalubog na kayo, kailangan nyo gumamit ng innovation in action. Be creative about distribution, kagaya ng nangyari sa Jones Soda by Jonathan Ritchie. Ang Jones Soda is limited lang yung range ng kanilang produkto, at ayun ang isa sa mga naging problema ng kanilang kumpanya, dahil mahirap hanapin, wala siya sa mga retail outlets kagaya ng supermarket and convenience store, which is naging daan para matabunan sila ng ibang soft drink brands. Pero ang Jones Soda ay gumamit ng innovation in action, be creative about distribution. Naganap sila ng iba pang store na pinupuntahan ng kanilang target customers, which is snowboarding shops, tattoo parlors, and music retailers. Nag-provide na rin sila ng chillers and supply of drinks na kagaya nung sa Pepsi. Ganito rin yung ginawa nung Pepsi nung humihina rin yung kanilang produkto. Nag-provide sila ng chillers, which is yung mga laman lang ng chillers na yon ay ang kanilang produkto. In these retailers, there was no competition. So agad nakabawi ang Jones Soda dahil nga sa wala silang kakumpetensya, hindi sila naipagsabayan sa mga retail outlets na very good marketing strategy kasi alam naman natin pag pumasok tayo ng mga retail outlets, napakaraming soft drinks brands na dun na ang hirap na mamili. Dito sa napili nilang store, wala silang kalaban kaya agad nakabawi ng sales ang Jones Soda. That's what you call innovation in action. Be creative about distribution. Process design and innovation. Process innovation. This is a negative part. There can be few who doubt the importance of process innovation to the firm. Kasi yung ibang company mas tinutuunan nila ng pansin yung product innovation. Hindi nila binibigyan pansin yung process innovation. Pero meron namang mga kumpanya na binibigyang importansya yung process innovation. Tulad ng Ford's Model T production line, isang motor company, Pilkington's float glass production process, and SAP's Enterprise Resource Planning System, isang powering industry. Makikita natin napakalalaking kumpanya yan na nakatulong talaga sa kanila yung process innovation. Process industry. Franco 1994 and Wallace 1998. Si Franco at Wallace is parehong professor na authorized magbigay ng opinion dito sa process industry. Sabi nila, a good example of such an industry is the food packaging industry. Tama yun kasi isa sa mga nagpapatatag ng isang kumpanya is yung mga packaging ng kanilang produkto. Marami niyan dito sa Pilipinas kagaya ng mga Milo, Yakult. Next, process innovations are an important source for increased productivity and they can help a firm gain competitive advantage. Mas pag gumamit ng isang kumpanya ng process innovation, mas nagiging produktibo ang kumpanya, mga empleyado nito, at pinakamahalaga doon is nagbibigay ito ng competitive advantage. Although walang competition sa process innovation, pero nagbibigay ito ng competitive advantage dahil mas dekalidad ang produktong nagagawa kapag gumamit ng process innovation. The relationship between product and process innovation. Process innovation achieve lower cost and or produce higher quality product. Yun. Pag gumamit ka ng process innovation at ikinumbine mo to sa product innovation, makakatipid ka at mas dekalidad na magagawang produkto. Would not be noticed by end consumers but certainly it would be noticed by the firm. Tanging firm lang ang nakakakita ng pagtitipid nila, hindi to napapansin ng mga consumers. Product innovation, where there is a high level of product differentiation and competition is intense. Sa product innovation, meron talaga diyang product differentiation and competition. Pero sa process innovation, gaya ng sabi ko, wala dong competition and product differentiation.
Good day, I'm Ruben Hirado, the reporter of Managing the Manufacturing of R&D Interface in Process Industries. R&D means development, research and development. To be successful at innovation, firms need to be able to capture value from their innovative functional products, and they must be able to manufacture them in a competitive cost structure. Innovation is the key to
any business in the future, because through innovation you can compete to others company. Like maggagawa ka ng changes sa isang product para makasabay sa ibang kumpanya, like makabenta, ganun. And R&D ay binubuo ng apat. Yan dyan ang design, testing, project management, and product development. Sa design, ang example ko is the Bugatti. Yan, kotse. Bugatti unveiled an 180 horsepower hypercar. Yan. The Bugatti Bolide is a name that comes from French slang for very fast car. Yan, ang Bugatti ay isa sa mga mamahalin, no, na sasakyan sa buong mundo. At bakit siya naging mahal? Kasi ganito yan, ang Bugatti ay naglalabas lang ng mga limited cars. So pag limited lang yung product mo, konti lang may alam ng mga detail na hindi basta-basta makukuha ng iba. Like hindi kagaya ng marami kang product na nire-release, marami ring mga replicang lumalabas. Ganun yung sa design, na kapag mas konti yung design na ginawa is mas mahal. And for the next is testing. Yan, itong Bugatti Bolide is with an extreme lightweight body that weighs just 27. Yan, 27 pounds lang. And 1.8 horsepower. Siya yung pinakamabilis na kotse ngayong 2020. Mas mabilis pa at mas magaan sa Chiron super sports car na Bugatti rin. And ang Bugatti Bolide ay hindi pa siya open sa public or hindi pa binibenta. Naka-model lang siya sa Bugatti main. Nandun lang siya naka-design for hype the people, no? Para mas ma-hype ang mga tao na ano bang meron sa Bugatti. And dito naman tayo sa project management. Yan. PM has become the province of a wider variety of industries and application, from marketing and events planning to publishing, informations and technology and film industry. Ito yung may mga mga grupo like linya. Yan, may mga kanya-kanya, like dito sa cars, gabawa sa body kit lang yung gagawin nila. Like ganon. Tapos sa isang linya naman, doon naman yung mga for internal, like makina. And kasi parang iba-iba, parang ano lang yan sa mall na pupunta ang grocery, nakahiwalay. Ganun yung sa may project management. Nakahiwalay rin yung mga process materials na ginagamit at yung mga ginagawa nila mga project. May kanya-kanya silang linya. Sa ano naman tayo next is the product development. Product development typically refers to all of the stage involved in bringing a product from concept or idea to market release and beyond. In other words, product development incorporates a product entire journey. Ito naman yung mga pagbabago. Like kung dati ang halos manggagawa is puro tao, ngayon is gumagamit na sila ng bots, mga robotic, for safety na rin ng mga tao. And then may tao pa rin pero mga ano na lang sila na lang yung nag-ooperate ng robot. Yan, for safety na rin ng tao. The next is stretch. How innovation continues when investment is made. Stretch is the mechanism by which established plans incorporate improvements in process and product technology and make higher output and new product as a result. And my example is the Montero Mitsubishi. Yung Mitsubishi ng 2017, like yung nagwa-wild, yung naging sira ng Montero dahil nag-upgrade sila ng kagaya sa Tesla na may auto drive. No, naglagay rin sila ng computer bot sa Montero na nag-auto drive, na may kakayang mag-auto drive, kaso nga lang hindi pa siya na maging maayos nung nakaraan. Pero ngayon 2020 is ayos na. Halos lahat na ng kotse ngayon is naka-Montero. Lahat makikita mo naka-Montero, di ba? So, next tayo is classification of interdependence between product and process innovation. Reciprocal, both and either product or process developments lead to improvements in the other. Like, ito yung merong nagli-lead, may protocol sa paggawa. In a process yun process. And pooled, ito naman sa pooled is where development in the product and process activities are pooled and then selection is made similar to reciprocal except the internal decision making may prevent improves in either product or process. Ito naman yung may mga sarili silang paggawa, like meron silang decision like sa linya, may kanya-kanya silang ginagawa, hindi lang basta sinusunod nila yung yung process. Meron silang sariling linya sa process. Ito naman, the next is process sequential where the innovation is dependent on process development. In this scenario, the process dominates. Ito naman yung mga paggawa, yung mga nagdo-dominate, like yung halimbawa yung yung sa linya. Kung may imagine nyo yung sa mga paggawaan, factory line, like may mga taga sa food, yan sa tinapay, yung bukod yung mga nag-ooperate do sa machine ng harina, then do sa packaging, bukod yun. Ganun yun dito naman yung sa may process. Dito naman tayo sa product sequential where innovation depend on the product development. In this scenario, the product dominates. Ito naman yung mga produkto. No, yung mga produkto naman yung nagdo-dominate dito na may mga na-enhance, like may mga bago sila, like sa Pudgy Bar, meron silang mga bagong flavors, ganun. Ito yung mga nagdo-dominate, yung product, yung pagbabago. The amensalism is the type of symbiosis between two species where the one limit of the success of the other without being affected. And the plants are a good example in this case of product and process innovation could exist where the presence of dominant process or product technology could hinder develops in the other. Ito yung like ang example nito, amensalism, search ko, and then lumabas is halaman.
Hello, I am Lizelle Isan from BSE 21. Our first topic is about triggers for innovation. Gap analysis. Understanding of the differences between the customer and producer view or experience of a product or service.
So, gap analysis process allows organization to determine how to best achieve their business goals. It is important to fully understand your customers and their expectation. Expectation is difficult because customers are different from each other and change with time. For example, 25 years ago, most of the teachers used acetates and overhead projectors in the classroom. So today, in this generation, students expect a computer-generated image, example PowerPoint, to discuss the lecture. As you can see in the picture for the student view, for the gap one is the student expectation are based upon in the university, and for student specification is for what she or he expect from the lecture. And for the gap 2 is manager's concept and organization specification is to meet the intended design of the course. And for the gap 3 is to ensure the actual lecture. And for the last is the gap 4, the image is the promises made to the students concerning the teaching can really be delivered. The next one is quality circles and process improvement teams. It's a small group of voluntary workers and the one who meets regularly to discuss problems and determine possible solutions. And quality circles is important because it improves communication, enhance decision-making skills, improve motivation, and so on. And for those who involve in quality circles may become more motivated as they feel valued within the company. And the role of quality circle is to build relationship with employees. The quality circle concept was developed from the ideas of Deming, Juran, and Ishikawa in the 1960s. For process improvement teams was used to reflect the need to look at the whole business process being considered. This team is focused on improving or developing business processes and come together to achieve a specific goal. The next one is total quality management. Describe a management approach to long-term success through customer satisfaction. TQM, putting effort where the members of an organization participate in improving processes, products, and services, and helps to improve the operation of a business. TQM was first introduced by Arm and Feugenbaum in the 1950s, then developed and refined by others including Crosby, Deming, Ishikawa, and Juran. According to Feugenbaum, TQM became defined as an effective system for integrating the quality development, quality maintenance, and quality improvement effort if the virus growth in organizations so to enable production and service at the most economical levels, which allows for full customer satisfaction. Here, the company depended upon the market needs with consideration of their customer economic capacity. The TQM philosophy stresses the following. Meeting the needs and expectations of customers means make them satisfied. Covering all the parts of the organization means you need to cover everything. Everyone in the organization is included. Means all the people that are part in the organization is included. Investigating all costs related to quality, internal and external, means you need to investigate because it can help the company to increase the profits. Getting things right by designing in quality, means do the right things in order to satisfy your customers. Developing systems and procedures that support quality improvements and means you need to make an effort in order to improve performance. Last, developing a continuous process of improvements means making an effort to improve products, services, or processes. The next one is quality function deployment, also known as the house of quality. It's a structured approach to this problem that relates the voice of the customer to every stage of the design and delivering process. Meaning, QFD is listening to the voice of the customers, then responding to those needs and expectations. In particular, QFD promotes better understanding of customer demands. Customer demands to ensure that the service is uptrend and relevant to the needs of the customers. Promotes better understanding of design interaction, means you need to plan for the suitable and best design that will be attractive to your customer. Involves operation in the process at the earliest possible moments. It means much better to be done as soon as possible. Focuses the design effort is focuses of designing done. The next one is the ISO 9000 approach, a set of standards governing documentation of a quality program. It is an international standard that can help the company to satisfy the customers, meet regulatory requirements, and achieve continual improvement. ISO approach was developed to include four additional principles. Quality management should be customer-oriented. You need to help your customers to meet their needs and wants. Quality performance should be measured. There will be no standard for improvement or change if the performance not measured. Quality management should be improvement-driven. It is to seek opportunities for the betterment of the company. Top management must demonstrate their commitment to maintaining and continually improving management system. You need to give your best to improve. In 1999, it was developed into EFQM Excellence Model, reflected the increased understanding and emphasis on customer focus and is results-oriented, and also defined as comprehensive, systematic, and regular view of an organization's activities and results reference against a model of business excellence. And ECFQM is a globally recognized management framework which allows organizations to achieve success. As you can see in the picture, for enabler, the criteria cover what an organization does and how it does it. And for the results, the criteria is cover what an organization achieves. Next is about design of the organization and its supplier, supply chain management. Next is supply chain management. Describe a system of managing all the activities across company boundaries in order to drive the whole chain network towards the shared objective of satisfying the customers. Supply chain management is the flow of goods and services and how it transports the raw materials into final products. As you can see in the image, the operation is made possible by purchasing of raw material or goods from supplier, and then the materials are then managed and stored and manufactured. Then the products are now collected and validated for the customer's order and distributed by the wholesaler and retailer, and finally to the hands.
Hello guys, I'm John Carl G. Jacosalem from BSE 21, who will report the Business Process Reengineering. So, Business Process Reengineering, or in short, BPR. What is BPR? BPR is a contrast to the incremental ideas of process improvement is that of the radical breakthrough approach business process reengineering. The meaning of incremental ideas are small-scale improvements to add or sustain value to existing products, service, and processes. This can be simple as adding a new feature to an existing product, or it can be more complex. For example, developing a line extension. Like Gillette, you might not think of Gillette as one of the greatest innovation leaders, but in actual fact, the brand is the great example of a company that has used incremental innovation to stay ahead of competition. Gillette Razor started life with a single blade, but their product has evolved, adding different features and more blades as the company has sought to better meet customer needs. So, ibig sabihin, si Gillette ay gumawa ng iba't ibang paraan para mabigay ang pangangailangan ng mga customer nito. And it was first attributed to Martin Michael Hammer in 1990. Si Michael Martin Hammer ay isang American engineer, management author, and former professor of computer science. And these were brought together to define BPR as the fundamental rethinking and radical redesign or business process to achieve dramatic improvements in critical contemporary measurements of performance such as cost, quality, service, and speed. For example, nagtayo ka ng negosyo. Siyempre, gagastos ka ng pera para maging maganda ang kalalabasan at maganda ang kalidad ng iyong negosyo. At dagdagan pa ng magandang serbisyo at bilis para matugunan ang mga pangangailangan ng iyong customer. Yun lang. And the next topic is lean innovation. A definition of lean innovation is creating a new product or process, including the work required to bring an idea or concept into a final form, with emphasis on identifying and creating the new value and removing the waste of the new product development process. So, ibig sabihin ni lean innovation dito, you're innovating new product and ideas like ng mga new gadgets now na may bagong features na mas applicable na bilhin ng mga customer. Ang pinakamagandang halimbawa nito ay ang iPhone na nilabas ngayon, ang iPhone 11 na mas quality ang camera kaysa sa lumang modelo nitong like ng iPhone SE, mababang kwalidad ng camera. Yun lang. Next is Lean Production Management by Greg Cohen, 2011, described lean innovation as 5 steps and principles. Ang first principle is define value from the perspective of the customer. So, in this first key of principle of lean innovation, tutukuyin mo yung pananaw ng iyong customer because customer is always right. Respect their decision on what they want and needs. For example, dumaan ka sa tiyangge-tiyangge, then you're looking for something and may tindera na nagtatanong sa'yo kung anong kailangan mo. So, in this situation, they're giving you respect to decide what you need. And the second principle of lean innovation is map the value stream. Value stream analysis focuses on the flow of the material and information through the system with the focus on throughput and wait times. Dito naman po kay value stream, nagpo-focus sa halaga ng process ng isang produkto like gardenia. Bago magawa ang product ng gardenia, dumadaan ito sa maraming proseso like mixing all the ingredients and bago pumunta ito sa malaking oven and bago lumabas yung finished product nito. Yun lang. Ang pangatlong key principles ng lean innovation is creating flow. Creating flow is assembly value creating steps in a tight sequence to enable value to flow quickly through the system. Create flow naman, ito ang dali kung paano muunlad ang trabaho sa pamamagitan ng isang sistema. Kapag maayos ang isang sistema, masasabi mo itong mayroong mabuting daloy. Halimbawa nito ay vision ng company. Pag ang vision ay maganda at sinusunod ito ng mga employee, maganda din ang magiging resulta. Also, magiging successful din ang business mo. Yun lang. Ang pang-apat naman ay establish pool. As a value start to flow, value is pulled through the system, ideally by the customer and at the rate of customer demand. Kaya establish pool naman, kailangan mag-establish ng value upang mas lalong maging interesting ang sistema. Ito ay maglilika ng attraction sa mga customer at magiging in demand. Halimbawa, ngayong pandemic ay may kailangan ng mga tao like ng teknolohiya dahil lahat ay halos online na. Kaya nagiging in demand ang mga gadget sa market at tumataas ang value nito. Ang last part naman is seek perfection. Seek perfection is a state that the professionals continue to approach but never actually achieve. Sabihin, sa lahat ng pagkakataon ay wala namang masasabing perfecto. Pero ito ay nagiging goal natin pa rin, di ba? Pagdating sa business. May basehan nga tayo na if everything was perfect, you will never learn and you will never grow. Ibig sabihin, ay ang perfection ay nagiging basehan ng pag-unlad at pagkamit ng tagumpay natin. So, yun lang po ang report ko for today. Thank you.